My name is John, and I served in the United States Coast Guard. I served from 74 to just about 1980. I extended a year. Back in 74, when I was a senior in high school, I got a draft notice. Prior to going into the Coast Guard, I was having an issue with drinking. I did a lot of that. I didn't know it at the time, but I was fast becoming an alcoholic. I went to Alameda to boot camp. And of course, this is all new to me. I'm 18 years old, and it's quite an adventure. I kind of noticed the people I knew, my friends, they didn't get like me. I was drinking hard and heavy. I got a bad name for myself pretty quickly on. I was told by a master chief and an officer while I was in the military that I need to deal with that problem, alcohol. It's getting you in trouble. And I just didn't stop doing it. And I don't even know how I made it through, to be honest with you, but I did. As far as after the Coast Guard, continued. I destroyed my first marriage. I got into, I lost a good job that I had just started, floor covering, and I kind of lost that job because of my drinking. I was introduced back in 1982 to a program called Alcoholics Anonymous. It was in that program that I learned something that has forever changed my life. I was challenged to look to see where I was wrong in all situations in my life, not the other guy. I wasn't pointing my finger anymore. I was just looking to see where I was wrong. And I started doing that, and it just lifted a huge load off me, because what caused me to continue to drink was thinking about my past. I finally came to that point where I surrendered. I actually went through a depression, but I was sober at the time. I didn't go through a depression when I was drinking. I actually went through it while I was sober, and I remember vaguely the feelings that I was going through. I wanted people to feel sorry for me. I remember that. I remember I always wanted that. But I was alienating people from me. And so it's kind of how ironic how that happens is you want to get attention to your woes, your depression, but no one wants to be around you. So it was a real bad, vicious cycle I was in. But at my time, there was nobody dealing with depression that I knew. In fact, they were really just recognizing it as an issue. I needed to talk about my depression and my alcoholism and how it was affecting other people. I needed to talk about it. If I held that stuff in, it just ate me up. And usually it led to something seriously bad. I did a little counseling with an assistant pastor, just a little bit. And the treatment centers, which, if treatment centers don't specifically help you, they at least give you a lot of information so that you know what step or direction to go in. So that was kind of nice. I started wanting to help people. I got out of myself so much that I wouldn't say happy, joyous, and free, but I was real close to that. I felt good. I considered others instead of myself. This is all directly from letting all that go. And instead of always wanting to get or blame or always receive and point my finger at society and everyone else as the reason I'm miserable, I was the reason I was miserable. And I had to change. And when I did, then the world looked completely different. I've been sober for 17 years and got a good family, wonderful son. I feel like if there are vets that are struggling with depression or traumatic things that happen to them in the military, and I know some do, I think there's a way to find relief to that. I would recommend to any young person coming out of the military to check in, to talk about it. Even if you don't get a solution, you're going to come out, whoever you talk to, you're going to come out of there feeling just a little bit better.